Hey guys, welcome back to another My Hero discussion video. I won't use my title because we both upload them to our channels.
Yeah.
Joined by my boy Gore.
Yo, it's your boy.
This is episode 17,
Yes.
right? Okay, so we're talking about 17 today. Much, in my opinion, I don't know about yours, much better than last week's. A little more stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, there was no naked clay girl, but you know what?
Hey, I won't object to that, but I'll just say that, it could have had more last week.
Yeah, it could have had more naked clay girl.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I always feel, I'm going to say this, I always feel weird every time I make a joke that's like, oh, look, she getting naked or something. Because these characters are supposed to be like, what, 14? But they don't,
I think it's 16.
Oh, 16? Well, they don't look it. I mean, first of all, it's anime, so I don't know. And also, I'm making a joke. So, I just want to let everybody know, if I do, these are jokes, all right? They're cartoons, all right?
Yep.
All right. By the way, let me crack open my drink. So, there we go.
I hope that was one like a shotgun or something.
Yeah, let me
sound like.
Yeah, all right. By the way, this is the last episode.
You better be okay with me making those jokes.
Yeah, I'm gonna come after you.
All right, so I'll go ahead and start.
All right,
kind of where this one started with. So it kind of started where the last one left off, with Todoroki fighting the nuts and screws guy and his posse of mutant ninja turtle ripoffs.
Power Ranger guys. I keep calling them Power Ranger Ninja Turtles because I mean, really the Ninja Turtle thing is just because they're ninjas. Power Ranger thing is because they're all different colors. So
I think I called them ripoff shinobis because they're like the shinobis from Naruto. Anything you want. They're goofs.
They're weird.
Yeah. So he starts off fighting them, and he's like, okay, well, they clearly came prepared. So he starts to run away, and this guy, the leader of this group, is just constantly saying, your pride will be your downfall, and like all of this, like typical like bad guy stuff.
Yeah, you ain't shit.
Yeah. And then literally all Todoroki has to do is he lights a sign on fire through the smoke, so they flock to it like moths. And then they show up, they're like, oh, this isn't Todoroki, and then he's like, gotcha, and he like blew up his tank.
Yeah,
and, like,
he blew up an entire tank filled with, I'm assuming, gasoline.
Well, see, I didn't know. I thought it was I thought it was gas at first, and then when they all land, they're all frozen. So I thought it was like water.
Yeah, maybe he froze
water.
it.
I don't really know. It could have been. I don't know.
I guess it could be gasoline. Wait, you can't freeze gasoline though.
You can. I think it just has a really low like freezing point. Anyway,
okay, well,
it could have been an explosion. It could have been water. Either one.
I guess it could have been. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. It could have been. Let me think. Let's just for the rest of this episode, let's just think of all the things it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Could be soda.
Could have been air.
Yeah, soda can explode, can it?
Yeah, if you shake it, maybe
Mentos,
some Mentos in there.
Yeah, Mentos. Yeah, he threw Mentos in there. That's probably what it was. It could have been. You know, it would have been funny if it was like acid and Shoto didn't predict that. He thought it was gasoline,
and then you just get, and they're all like melting, and you get like the Terminator thing from one of them, just like a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up as he just completely melts. That would have been a nice little ending. And he was like, "Oh God, I'll never use either side again."
So literally, in the first like 2 minutes, he took all of them out. Really, not a big deal.
Yeah,
to him, really.
Yeah. That cliffhanger was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it does kind of take. I guess to be fair, like you have to end an episode some way, and it's not necessarily their fault that it didn't end like crazily, the fight. But so yeah, at the end of that, his little buttons beep up on his costume, and like all winners, please report to this area because he won. He got enough people knocked out. They talked a little bit. I like how they keep people like they constantly remind people that this is still a competition.
Right,
they kind of like bring it back. It's not just like people trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it's like you got 50. There's 56 people that won. You only got a little bit. Come on.
It'd be funny if it was like the Hunger Games, where like someone dies and then it'll show like the hologram of like.
I think I said that in the last episode reaction. I think I either that or I was thinking it, and I was just like, Because I was thinking that too.
Sense. Imagine like Todoroki just like it shows them like him killing like 50 people on the like hologram, just like deceased.
It's just like Deku looks up and he sees like Bakugo's face and like, oh,
Yeah.
He'd be upset, but you know.
So you want to hit what happens next?
All right. So next, after all this happens, I guess we have like a little scene with a new character who I'm just gonna call IQ Girl because I don't remember her actual name.
That's
I think
fair.
They say her name, right? Don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I'm calling her IQ Girl because her quirk is that she's really smart. She's prepping for this plan to take out some of the UA 1A class students, whatever. And it's just a little scene where it just introduces her, and she has like a minion of girls that like work for her and stuff. And she's like being foppish and I'm gonna win. I'm the best. You know,
so
I'm rich.
Do you want to hear something kind of interesting?
Oh, is that the same girl from the last episode?
No.
That blew my mind.
Actually, this episode's only the third time in the series where it's filler. This stuff didn't happen in the manga. The IQ Girl and all the like Momo having her moment and stuff like that. It's all like first in the anime. I was surprised to see it. I was like, "What is this?" I didn't see it coming.
That's weird. They give Momo a lot of all right, maybe not a lot, but a couple episodes where she prevails, you know what I mean? Like we had that one episode.
I think this is like, well, I think it's more so like trying to show how all the students are remembering how Midoriya is all heroic and his impact on them, and they used her as like a surrogate for that. So
yeah, it makes sense, and her ability makes sense too because she's the Deus Ex Machina, where she's just like, oh wait, hold on, I can make a giant machine that saves us. All right.
I also do kind of like how it kind of finishes her arc. Because she lost her confidence in the sports festival, and then she got it back with Todoroki against Aizawa, and this is her like on her own making decisions without hesitating. Yeah. So it's kind of like a nice like completion to that.
Yeah, it's good, and also I like the whole thing where the IQ girl's thinking like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm gonna win because I'm a genius. Her IQ's real high, and she's predicting all the things she'll do, and Momo's just like, you know what? I'm gonna make a machine that just blasts sound waves. Because we got this kind of useless girl who has like one importance in this episode. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was watching this, I think this is the first time where they have a duplicate of a quirk. You know how everyone's quirk is usually like different from everyone else's.
Yeah.
Isn't the principal's like IQ? Like he's an animal that has a quirk that makes him smarter than humans.
I thought it was like he can.
It's called like high specs.
Yeah, okay. Maybe, yeah. I guess so. But I was thinking, I thought his was like he makes like he could see like he can make up battle plans or something like that. I thought that was the whole thing. Like he could predict what people are gonna like do. And I thought that's why when he had the bulldozer and he's like destroying the city in that one episode, I thought that's what he was like predicting what they were gonna do next. But I guess I guess his quirk is the IQ.
So, but that's just weird. Like. That's basically the same quirk, but one's called high specs and one's actually just called I guess hers is influenced by tea, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that would say I was laughing at that. Like she has to have tea and then close her eyes, and then also if she drinks different teas,
it affects her differently.
So I guess she could become like dumb if she drinks the wrong tea.
I do like how quirks have specific nuances like that though. Like it's kind of cool. It's not just like basic, I'm smart. Like there's like you have to do specific things. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do like that. And they even like double down on the whole Momo thing where she like uses her what was it again? Like some involving DNA or whatever. I don't know. I don't know science.
Her lipids, like the fat cells, I guess. That's what she can make things.
Yeah, I mean it's still stupid, but I like that they talked about that.
Well, remember at the summer camp they had her like she was sitting next to the diabetes guy and there was stuff in their face with food. Yeah. I think she was just trying to like build up on lipids and he was just trying to like get sugar rush or whatever.
Which a shame because right when she did that she got diabetes. So. Again, we're not making fun of anyone with diabetes.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm probably close to diabetes. So
oh no. Well, maybe you can just transform into like metal bats.
No, I'll transform into a corpse. That's about it.
Oh my God. That's anyway. Moving on from a less morbid topic.
Well, actually, before the whole IQ girl where she like has her minions of little girls, help her. There is one scene.
I actually heard there's a lot of complaints about that, by the way. Like, people are like, why do they have like this harem like thing going on in this episode with like a bunch of girls?
I don't
like,
know.
Yeah.
There's even a couple scenes where they're doing that generic cheesy anime stuff where they're all like, I don't know, laughing or giggling or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. But there's actually one scene before the whole Momo and the gang fight IQ that I liked, which is the whirlwind guy from the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
And Shoto are both in the same room because they're both winners. And Whirlwind, who's a really cool guy, he's talking to some dude, I forgot his power, but he really likes this guy. And he has like a dumb power, but he's like, oh, I love you, you're great. And then he looks at Shoto and he gives him like the shittiest stare. Like he's just like, oh yeah, it's that guy.
By the way, I saw your reaction before watching this, and your perceptions are on point with what you said.
Oh yeah?
As to why you think.
Oh, okay. I won't say here just in case.
Yeah.
Someone, but I figured that's probably why. Because I don't see why anybody would hate Shoto himself, unless maybe something during the summer games, whatever they're called. Were they called the summer games or something?
They're like the sports festival.
Oh, okay. I'm playing Overwatch right now, so it's summer games right now. I figured like that's the only reason that would make sense to me. Because
I do like that character, the Wind guy, a lot though. He's super he just yells and he's super enthusiastic and he's actually really cool.
Yeah, he's fun.
We'll get more about him in future episodes, so look forward to that, everyone. Yeah. He's awesome.
Imagine you don't. They kill him off like in the next episode.
they twist from the manga. They're just like, oh, see ya.
Oh man, he cut his head off. Like, damn, that's the first death in this show, and it's like the most brutal, violent one. For a character that barely got any character. That's
so back to the hostage situation. I guess you like kind of like not like a hostage situation, but they're like locked in this room.
Yeah.
And they start making the air cold. So Froppy, being part frog, she's like, I'm not feeling too well, and passes out basically. Yeah. And I'll just say it's kind of adorable when she's like getting held by Shoji. She's like a little blanket and just like a little baby. Yeah. That was kind of cute.
Yeah, I want to say, that was cute. But I really like the whole, even though it's a harem of girls, it's just stupid. I do like that they have a plan, and I like watching the plan come together. Like they destroy the windows, but they don't break them enough where like they shatter. They just break them enough where they become cloudy, so Eyes guy can't see stuff. He makes other limbs, but I guess his eyes were the most important part of this. And they make it cold, so Froppy, and also you find out it was actually mainly because they wanted Momo to start using her ability more, so she gets tired out. They also turn on a radio, so freaking I like how they turn on a radio and Jiro's quirk is immediately useless. Ow! Oh, my ears!
And then Shoji puts his ear to the wall and is like, well, it's not that bad for me.
I like they have the character that immediately negates any use of I know her name, I'm not gonna call her. Though. You know, I know her name, but I'm just gonna not call her because I don't respect her. So
just don't like her power, I know.
Yeah, I know. That's really the only reason. Also, she's not really a character. So, I mean, every time she showed up, she's just, she's there with her stupid earbuds.
You know what the IQ girl kind of gave me some vibes of for just a little bit during this episode?
Oh yeah.
She reminded me of a Hans Gruber, from Die Hard, like kind of like sitting back and like Momo was what's the main guy's name?
I don't remember. You mean
Bruce Willis's? Anyway.
John McClane.
Yeah, she was like the John McClane, and he's like trying to outsmart the person running the building.
A little bit.
That was just a weird like.
Yeah, it was similar in a way because it was a giant building. They were on the top. Well, then they weren't on the top, but they were close to the top. And he's stuck, and they have a minion. You know what? When I watched Die Hard, I always thought it should have had more little girls in it trying to kill John McClane.
Some Arab girls, they scream and glee and giggle.
Yeah. And I always thought John McClane should have been a big-breasted woman that can like shoot things out of her skin. So,
speaking of which, she makes like a giant ass speaker for Jiro to use.
Which, by the way, I just want I'm here's my question, because she could shoot things out of her back even though she has clothes on, like a blanket. She shoots out at one point to cover Sue. So what's the what's the point of her having almost no clothes on? I thought that was the point.
So
because
she needs to have exposed skin for most things. If I remember correctly in the manga, you know how everyone gets like a new suit?
Yeah.
I think her suit allows her to face some things through, like the back, so she doesn't keep having to like rip it. And there's also I can't remember what episode it was, but she can also like repair her clothes, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, but here's my main question. It's not really it's not a question. It's actually a comparison. I should say question. But it reminds me of. Did you ever play Metal Gear Solid 5?
I've played no Metal Gear Solid game.
Do you know the character Quiet?
I think I've seen a picture of him. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a character named Quiet that's like scantily clad, and there's no real reason for it besides, well, they make a reason, but it's stupid. And it kind of reminds me of this. So it kind of weirds me out every time I see her, and she's supposed to be this really serious character who's like this rich girl too, right? Who's really smart and stuff, and it's always like just straight up tits in front of you. And just I don't know, it just always bothered me. At least like some like Metal Gear Solid when they had Quiet, who's just there for sex appeal. It made sense because that's just what she's there for. I guess.
I guess I'll just say like
weird, but whatever.
At least it's not like. So obviously you don't watch a lot of anime, but a lot of anime they'll have like attractive girls in it just for the sake of eye candy. You get you get that general idea.
I mean, that's the same for a lot of movies
those ones
too.
Though they'll have them do like suggestive things, like kind of like, oh, oops, I dropped this and stuff like that. At least like Momo's not like that. She just looks hot, but she doesn't act like a
that's true.
Yeah, she's very strong.
That is true, and no other characters like that besides some of the flirty ones that are being flirty on purpose, which I guess makes sense. But I just think it's weird, you know. It's a little weird, and it's not really even a negative towards the character at all. It's just a negative towards the whole, I guess, anime. What do you call it?
Just the culture
genre
of anime.
Yeah.
Well, it is from Japan. They have a much different like mindset about things there.
They sure do like women.
I like women.
Yeah, they're cool.
So anyway,
they're pretty cool.
They outsmart this chick by having Jiro. Like at first, Momo was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna block the vents with some clay, save Froppy, and then we'll work on something. Then she's like, no, wait, she just wants me to use my ability too much. So she's like, screw that. Let's think a little harder. And then she makes like an amp for Jiro to use, and she makes her supersonic sound attack, and that wipes out all the minions. And they walk in, they're like, yeah, we got it. We did it. Like, we kicked your guys' ass. And then the main girl kind of pounces and, like, grabs Momo. And, like, they separate them from the group. And she's like, well, if I can't win, then no one can win. Like, she tries to, like, take out Momo.
Yeah.
And then Momo... I had this really cool thing where she made, like, a handcuff, like, on her hand. And, like, hooked it to the other hand so she couldn't use that ball.
Right.
And then how did that end? The other guys came in. And
they just burst through, and Froppy's there with like one of her eyes.
She's like half like drunkily asleep. But tongue attack. Look at tongue.
They just come and help, and before this, there's a whole thing where it's just like, I gotta believe in myself because Deku and stuff, and I think they have another thing like that. And then the IQ girl's just like, well, you guys are great. Sorry, you're the best. Oops.
And I think there's like just enough minions in there for them to all pass because she had like 7 or 8 minions. So
and there's 4 of them, so it was perfect. There you go. Well, how about you know what? Here's the one question. How about that one girl that was doing the sniping? She was just watching that all happen?
I guess she was like, well, I guess she's like waiting for. She's like contacting them on the radio, like, hey guys, did you win? They're like passed out from the Sonic thing. Did you win? Like she's like on her own from there on out. So best of luck to her.
Yeah, she's just watching with binoculars. She's like, shit.
That is kind of like, amongst all powers, it's not great or anything, but having a superpowered slingshot on your arm, like, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like, it might as well just be a gun.
Pretty much, but that'd be too violent. They already have McCree. He's got the gun.
McCree's pretty cool.
Do you know his power, by the way, McCree's?
Does he have a gun?
No, in the anime.
Well, yeah, no. Does he have a gun in the anime?
He can change the trajectory of projectiles. So you can like shoot, and it can like zoom around a building and like hit the other side and stuff.
It's like that movie Wanted.
Pretty much, yeah. Or kind of like the Matrix, but like not really. I guess.
Well, yeah, when he stops everything.
Yeah.
So he has like one of Neo's abilities.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, he's cool. Every time I see him, it's just because he has the red cape and he has a cowboy look.
Cool design.
Yeah, I always call.
I wonder if he's like a regular guy underneath. He's always wearing that like kind of like mask. That
maybe he's like that one girl who's just gas.
Oh, 13?
13.
So apparently, if you ever watch that episode again where 13's in the hospital, like at the very end of season 1, like they show her costume to the side, and then they show the bed, and there's the shape of a body underneath the blanket. So it's weird. Yeah,
maybe she's like that one gas guy too that like has a human body.
Yeah, has
underneath.
a body. Yeah, maybe.
It's weird. I don't get it. Why is there so many gas characters?
That was the end of that little mini arc, which is cool.
Again,
that was filler, which is really surprised me, and I really enjoyed it. I looked online. Apparently, no one really liked that as much. Not no one, but some people really did. And the only other 2 moments they've ever had filler was Froppy's internship with the Navy and the first episode of season 3 where they were swimming at the pool. Neither one of those were in the manga.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see more of it.
It was good. It was a good little arc. I liked it. I liked it watching. Again, that's what I like about the show is they don't just fight. It's just like it's not like a brawl. It's always like there's some deeper.
Although sometimes I do kind of want that
a brawl. Like, well, you got that with All Might. That wasn't really. I mean, I guess he did kind of do that because he had to use just little bits of his power because that's all he had left when he fought All for One. But I called him the right thing this time because I always said One for All.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah, All for One. It should be easy because it's All Might and All for One, so it's just remember All is first. But I mean, I guess you had kind of a brawl there. Every time All Might shows up, at least in the first 2.5 seasons, I guess
there was
a brawl.
I guess there was Bakugo and Deku versus All Might. That was a pretty good fight too.
Oh, that was a good fight. Yeah,
back in season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's always like some kind of like strategy. Like, it's not just like it's not like Goku.
It's not like Dragon Ball where it's just like
exactly.
who can hit harder, like just rapid punches and then powering up and punches again.
Yeah,
like,
which by the way, that Broly movie, it's coming out next month. I
might have to see that. Some of my friends might drag me into it. I don't know.
My friend wants to see it, so I'll probably go see it. It's the old one. I don't think I've ever seen it. So. Oh. And then the new one comes out January, which
that's the one I think people want me to see.
Yeah, the old one's coming because I don't think it was ever dubbed. So they're dubbing it and they're bringing it to theaters.
It's cool.
I could be wrong about that though. But anyway, I guess there's a couple.
So what happens next?
This is when Bakugo and his gang, which is the guy I can't pronounce.
Oh, right.
and dumb guy that has electric powers.
Kirishima. Kirishima is the red-haired guy.
Yeah, he's there too. He gets turned into a blob, though.
Yep, because he pushes Baku out of the way, and then
and of course Bakugo's like idiot, and he probably did. Did he call him an idiot?
Pretty much, yeah. Bakugo. Well, yeah.
So all right, so they meet up with some guy who has like, he's kind of creepy at first. Like his ability, he turns people into amorphous blobs, like that just is this like.
So I can't remember what it's actually called. I'm sure they'll show it the next episode, but it's like flesh manipulation, I think, or something like that. Yeah, it's gross.
I want to say one thing I noticed while they were showing the scene. There's music in the background that sounded very much like the 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You stuff, because it's like little girls singing, and I was just like, it even sounded like kind of like it wasn't the exact lyrics, obviously, but
would you say it was fitting?
It was fitting until he started cracking jokes. Like they said like his eyebrows are weird. He was like, "No, my eyebrows are cool." I'm like, all right.
My eyebrows are cool.
He did say that, I think, exactly right. No, I think my eyebrows are cool.
I was too busy laughing at Kirishima's like blob, where his like fingers like twitching, like he's just finger like just twitching them, the blob, and just.
I would love if that's just how he's going to be in the next.
Well, that kid should be arrested. He murdered like 20 people. Then there's like a whole bunch of blobs laying around him.
Well, they're still alive. They're just
they're alive. He just mushed them up like Play-Doh.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, and then Bakugo starts screaming at him like, "You punk! You all talk," and they start to fight, and then that's about it, right? Like that's that quick scene, and we'll go back to it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it cuts back to Deku, who's with Tape Guy and who's Hantasero. I was just trying to make you laugh.
Yeah. Tape man. I call them toilet paper rolls.
Toilet paper. And Uraraka. They're all just chilling. They're like, okay, what's our plan? And basically, they came to the conclusion that Deku should distract everyone while the other two start tagging people. They also made an interesting point that like the other groups are so big that they're kind of worrying about like having enough points for themselves, so they might try to fight amongst themselves, and they're like, oh, let's use that to our advantage. And
I want to see that because that's a good idea. I thought there was a part, I'm not gonna lie, where Momo's like trying to figure out what they're gonna do next before the IQ girl starts attacking, and I thought Momo was gonna say screw it and just start freaking like making balls out of her back and just starting tagging her own team, because you could do that, right? That's not against the rules.
Technically can, yes.
All right, so I thought we were gonna get that. Like Momo's just like, hey man, I want to pass.
It's like you
guys are cool, but
I was gonna compare it to something that's nothing like. You ever see the end of The Mist?
Oh yeah.
Like the guy's got like the bullets.
she shoots all of her friends, and then she walks out. And
for himself. Yeah.
She walks out, and her whole team's there, just like, hey man, we had these two guys just for you. We saved them so you could. Where's the frog girl and the useless one and the arms guy? They call him that. It's like that. It's exactly. It'll be just as dramatic. By the way, Mist,
not a great comparison, but I just kind of thought of that.
Yeah. By the way, Mist, great movie. Go see it.
Yeah, it really is.
Feel good movie.
So basically, it cuts back to Miss Joke and Aizawa on the stands, and she's like, "Oh, don't tell me you're worried about your students." And he's like, "No, I've come to learn something about my class. There's two people who are just so unique and charismatic." And they're not the most popular, and they hate each other's guts. They cannot work together whatsoever, but they influence everyone around them in some way, like in a positive way.
Yeah, the bubblegum girl and the invisible girl, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I didn't know.
Actually, I'm thinking Mineta.
Mineta.
He's the real hero, with his beads.
His anal beads.
Yeah. By the way, that was the joke we were referring to, like 2 episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We should have kept that. All right, edit that
out. They know. The adults know. Anyway, what was I going to say? Deku and Bakugo are the two that he was talking about, and they cut to them. Deku's like flipping through people and like leading Uraraka and Hanta, Sero to tag people, and it cuts to Bakugo, and he's firing like rapid blast at Blob Man, and he's like, "Yeah, these two I can't wait to see their future. I'm proud to be their teacher." Yeah. Which is cool because Aizawa doesn't really praise people much at all, and he straight up said like, "I am excited to see these two. I'm very happy to be their teacher."
And Shota's like, "What?"
Yeah, I really actually. If I'm being honest, that's probably like one of my favorite moments so far this season. I really like that.
That's good. I like that. I like when people are praising at least one of the characters I like. Bakugo, I'm still warming up to.
You like Bakugo.
I like him sometimes. Like in here, he even threatens he's gonna kill someone again. I was like, jeez.
Well, he threatened to kill the guy who just killed his friend.
Yeah, but that guy's cool. So he's got a cool quirk where he turns everybody into blobbies.
Right. That guy gets a pass.
Yeah, he's kind of cool. Also, he had that Freddy Krueger music going on. So
yeah, but he's got really cool eyebrows.
Yeah, he does have cool eyebrows. Don't talk bad about his eyebrows. But I like his quirk. They see that's an inventive quirk. That's cool. That's terrifying. It's useful, and it also not only that, but it doesn't kill your opponent. It makes them look like a fool too. So
do you remember back? I think it was the last episode of season 2 when Shigaraki's got his like stranglehold on Deku at the mall.
Right.
Shigaraki's like, look around. Any one of these people could just randomly start attacking everyone, and like they could literally kill anyone.
That's true.
That's kind of like what Blob Man could do if he wanted to, I think.
Yeah, I guess he could turn that whole mall into blobs.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to turn it back, or he could just like kill them, if that's part of his power. So it's just kind of interesting.
Turn back.
These are dangerous. Some of these powers are just like,
yeah. I'm surprised there's not one quirk where you just make people explode.
A guy, someone's got a quirk like Death Note.
Yeah.
they like write names and they die.
Yeah, that'd be great. Either that, or they just think of a person and they just explode.
They don't even like try to hide it. They make the guy straight up look like the guy from and they like that's him. He's in the show.
They call him, I don't know, Knight. That's his name.
Yeah, Knight Mogami.
Mogami. He has a little guy following him around. His name's Dayuk. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I guess All Might would be kind of safe because only so many people know his name, like his true identity.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because it's kind of like L. L's not his real name, so it doesn't work on him. It is his real name.
He'll be M.
M. Yeah.
Or wait, what do we call him again? Knight. N. He'll be N.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm just mixing all these characters from Death Note.
Yeah.
Screw it. L is light. I don't care. All right. So
did we miss anything?
I think that's about it. Unless there's like one scene we missed. We probably missed one scene. I bet we missed like one small scene.
Yeah, I don't think they showed any of the other classmates during this episode.
No, I think that's about it. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we miss screw it.
Feel free to unsubscribe to both our channels.
Yeah.
We'll let you down.
Yeah, sorry. But
yeah.
I think that's about it. Next week's episode looks like it's gonna be fun. I watched a preview this time. So
I've heard really good things about next week's. I mean, I obviously know the events of like what happens in this plot, but I've heard the next week's episodes in particular is really good. So
you know, that's actually kind of the cool thing about watching 2 weeks or 2 episodes behind. Is that we get to hear, not spoilers, but we get to hear if the next episode is actually good. So when we're waiting, we know it's going to be good or not.
That's kind of why I like that I read the manga because I can't be spoiled now.
That's true. Yeah.
And like I know all the plot, but I like to see it come to life in the anime because it's always so much better in the anime anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I read the manga, but you know, I can't read, so.
It's actually really good.
That's why I'm not watching the sub. Just have to, like,
well, that's my only. I actually, to anyone who doesn't like the dub out there, first of all, the dub is great. I think you're just being kind of blinded by your desire to love sub. Yes. But I do think the sub is also great. The only reason I watch the dub is I don't like to have to read when I'm watching a show because typically the animation is really good. I like to just kind of admire it and relax and watch.
Yeah,
so.
But also for a reaction, it's harder because you're. I mean, like when you're doing a reaction, you're trying to make a video too that's a little bit more entertaining than if someone's just watching. Like you want to make it seem like you're there with whoever's watching the video, right? That's usually what a reaction is. So if you're just staring there like reading, like. You're just reading to yourself. It's not really the most entertaining reaction. I've seen people react to the dub, and I mean not the dub, the sub, and they do a good job. But it's just when you're reading it and not paying attention to animation, like you said, which the animation's great. I don't know.
It flows better. The reaction flows better when you don't have to read, I think.
Yeah, and I've actually watched the last few episodes. I haven't watched this one yet. I watched last week's episode in sub. I have to watch this one in sub.
It's very good. Great quality. Very good. Not knocking anyone who watches the sub. I think it's great.
But the thing is, I was thinking of doing is if I ever do the sub in the future, also do the dub. Which I don't know if anybody I know that's pretty silly because it's the same thing, but I mean it's different enough. I was thinking of that because I don't want to just jump into the sub when I've been doing the dub. I want to also have the dub for the people that want to watch me watch the dub. It just won't be my first reaction, obviously. But
the way I do the reactions, I can't do the sub because I make the video super small and no one would be able to read it. So that's another reason, but that's like one of the lesser reasons that I actually.
That is true too. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I'm too lazy to upload a BitChute and stuff.
BitChute is a cool little site if you want to,
Maybe next season I'll look into it. I'll just finish this one strong, but just doing it this way. And there's only like 7 or 8 episodes left. Yeah, I think
we're almost done.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, and then the movie comes out. Yeah, we can all enjoy that.
I think it comes out before this is over, right? I believe so.
It's going to be close.
I think it comes out, September 25th?
The 27th and it goes through October 2nd. So there's like 5 days in theaters.
Yeah, I think. Days. If we're talking about just the dub, then we still have next week. So we have how many? 8 more episodes? Then definitely because it's at least 2 more months.
Yeah. So, by the way, for anyone curious, the movie it's gonna be in theaters for 6 days or 5 days, and 3 of those days are going to be sub, I believe, and 2 are dub, or maybe it's the other way around in America. Probably 3 days dub and 2 days sub.
Yeah.
So just make sure to check when I think tickets go on sale like next week or something.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in watching it, just make sure you pick the day you want because you don't want to go to a day where it's not your preferred version.
Yeah, I know to definitely make sure you do that because I wanted to go see Your Name, that anime from last year.
Yeah.
And I saw the dub, which I wanted to see because I heard the dub was good. And I guess some people didn't know that, and a giant group of obvious anime fans, like big anime fans, you could tell because they smelled. But I'm just kidding.
They got that cave smell.
No, you could tell because there were those kind of guys that were just like cracking jokes about whatever the hell anime is out at the time. They might even made a My Hero joke. I just didn't understand because this was a year ago. But like about 5 minutes into the movie, all I heard was them just crackling and making jokes and saying they screwed up the theater because they thought it was supposed to be the sub, even though it says, like, not on the ticket, but on the marquee when you go to the box office, it says dub, English dub. It says right on it. So, like, they ruined the first, like, 5 to 10 minutes of that movie. They all ran out, too, and they did their stuff before they leave. Yeah. That was when was becoming a funny thing to say. So they all left the theater screaming Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's like the first 5-10 minutes of that movie's done. So hopefully that doesn't happen for my.
I wish people were respectful in theaters.
Yeah, I wish some people weren't born.
Well,
well.
Ever see The Office? There's that episode where they go to Phyllis's wedding, and Dwight's like, "There's too many people. We need a new plague."
I agree, but all right. Well, there you go. That is another episode. Just end it with some.
Yeah, some dark ass.
Yeah, some death talk.
Talk, yeah.
But all right, that's what happens when I get the first 10 minutes of a really great movie ruined.
Yep.
But just a bunch of cackling idiots. I mean, there was like a group of like 12 of them. I think they were all like Facebook group people that were meeting up for the first time because I don't believe that they all knew each other. I just don't believe it. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. A lot of you guys are really enjoying these. So
yeah, it's a good time.
Until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle. Hoping you all have a mighty day.
This is Gore. I don't have a tagline, so just bye. That's my tagline, guys. That's it. Bye.